The African Continental Free Trade Area is now ongoing across the 55 member countries who have initially signed up for it. It is set to boost intra-Africa trade, promoting industrialization and competitiveness, and contribute to job creation. The trade is also expected to unleash regional value chains that will facilitate Africa's meaningful integration into the global economy, improving the prospects of Africa as an attractive investment destination. However, there has been minimal awareness in the small and medium enterprises sector, which is believed to create around 80% of the Africa's employment, establishing a new middle class and fueling demand for new goods and services. Now, the participation of the SMEs in the AfTA will give it a greater access to new markets and possible economic transformation that will that competition could promote with a focus on the 4 keys of the sector, which includes wholesale or retail trade, the agricultural and food processing sector, manufacturing and services sector. Let's now have a breakdown of the prospects of this historic trade to the SMEs as the sector also struggles to find a path to recovery from the effect of COVID-19 pandemic. I have joining me live in our Lagos studio, he's the Executive Secretary of the Nigeria Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, Mr. Eke Ubiji. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been a while. I appreciate your time here. Thank you very much for coming in. First, a lot has happened. COVID-19 and SARS, we can go on and on. First, tell us how it's played on with small and medium scale businesses. How are they faring at the moment?
I mean, how
yes,
MSMEs
yes,
are
MSMEs,
faring?
yes, with the effect of all of this. Because even workers are ready. It's funny, right?
Yeah, the question is really very funny. I want to put it this way. The micro, small, and medium enterprises, I think I am not a politician.
Yeah.
But under this dispensation, this government have tried to give SMEs support from the government side. I'm not talking of banks, commercial banks. What do I mean by that? You know, when COVID started last year, there was serious crisis within the MSME sector. With that crisis, a lot of SMEs either closed shop or they were not meeting up. Then the OPS raised alarm, called on its members and the Central Bank of Nigeria to do something to support the MSME sector. Based on that, the CBN approved the sum of 50 billion naira that was managed by the Nisal Microfinance Bank. Yeah, Nisal started disbursing the money. But the challenge you had there was that the money could not go around as expected. And even those who got it, what they got, imagine somebody expecting to get about, say, 20 million, getting 1.5 million, 2 million, 3 million. What's the person going to do with that? You understand? But this is the money that has been approved and said, this is it, take. So what are you going to do? So that's the challenge MSMEs had with that money. So a lot of our members got it. But you see a member who was looking for, say, for example, say 5 million.
Okay.
And is getting 500,000 or 250,000.
That's like 1/10 of what.
So I'm just being realistic and factual with you. That's exactly what happened. And if you now raise it with Nisal or the CBN, say that was the money approved for them. What do you want
Maybe
them
that
to
was
do?
to make it go around more, maybe to get to more people.
Agreed to go around. That was the reason they gave. That wasn't the initial idea. But when they realized that the volume of people, number of people requesting it was so much, was so enormous, so they have to come down to distribute, give out the money to people, but at a lower scale, which somebody who wants to run a business of, say, 10 million, and you are giving him 1.5 million. What is he going to do with it? I'm just telling you what happened. So if you don't have the facts, you just hear that, okay, 50 billion was given, but on the other hand, I just want to be fair. For the government to have made that effort is commendable, but more is needed.
More is needed.
Exactly.
Now, we've been talking about AFCFTA, and I'm sure you're in tune with all of this. I'm looking at where MSMEs now stand in all of this, because the competition is really on the high side. How competitive are small businesses? Are they ready to key into this market, take advantage of this 1.2 billion people market? The population is really, really, really attractive.
Yeah, so that question is very, very important. And you've seen the MBA statistics about the number of SMEs you have. Is it 41.5?
Yes, I think about 40
billion or something like that. And within the MSME sector, it's segmented. You have the micro, small, medium. You understand? And the market is the whole of Africa. But firstly, let me tell you this. This initiative is commendable. I must tell you the truth. Because all along, for how many years that a lot of African countries had independence, we've been Eurocentric in the way we do our businesses, thereby enriching these foreign countries. Now, we are becoming Afrocentric to look into our continent. What are the opportunities, business opportunities available, which we can exploit for the benefit of our people? You understand? So that is the center of this initiative. I know some years ago there were some magazines I read that the man have left office now. He was the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, one professor. He was the person who started talking about this initiative. You understand? Yeah. But he has left office. It was after he left office that AFTA kicked off. But I can tell you this initiative will help the African continent. But not immediately.
That's it.
It's a long journey.
That's the reality. It's not immediate.
It's not immediately. You know why it will be so? Even you need massive infrastructural development. What do I mean by that? You need good road network around Africa. You need to be connected by sea, by air, by road, if you really want to do serious business among African countries. But you know, we've not really... Some African countries have started connecting by rail. Look at Kenya, connecting Kenya and Uganda. Do you understand what I'm saying? We need more of that in the whole continent, so that, you know, everybody that have been flying goods by air, even by sea. How many of our people are connected? It was one organization in Nigeria, NEXIM, Nigerian Import-Export Bank, that started the initiative of connecting African countries by sea. So you take off from Nigeria, you start going down to South Africa, move up to East Africa, North Africa, carrying goods and services. I think, I don't know if you know the name of the former MD that was removed before the current one was brought. Mr. Oria, that's his name. He was the person who, that project was launched at Eco Hotel some few years back. I don't know the situation. As if they were thinking of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. The idea is this: if you want to take your goods to Europe or bring them from Europe and America to this place, you need to use foreign ships. And you know what it costs. But with this initiative, we have an indigenous shipping system that will help you move these products to different countries in Africa. You understand?
Yes.
That's a good initiative. But with AFTA now, we need to be more aggressive in that regard, so that our goods and services, we should have rail lines connecting African countries.
As good as it is to be more aggressive, like you said, on that line too, I'm also thinking along the line of standards. That is something that is key in Nigeria, standards. Sometimes we do good productions, we have problems with finishing, we have problems with packaging, and it doesn't add up. How does that come to you? How well do you see our SMEs prepared for maintaining standards?
I agree with you, Tolu, 100%. You know, we've been talking about this issue of quality standards for years. We've been on it. But luckily, the federal government, this current federal government, have approved a national quality policy for Nigeria, which is very, very fundamental. We've been on this. UNIDO did this for almost 5 years. We worked with them to come up with a well-prepared quality policy. That policy was submitted to the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment about 3 years ago in Abuja for the ministry to forward it to FEC, Federal Executive Council, for consideration and approval. But forget about the delay, but the truth of the matter is that it has been approved. The meaning and implication of that is that if you want to export, even under AFTA, you must comply with that policy.
Yes, you must.
Before your goods will leave the shores of Nigeria.
Okay.
That's the truth. I'm talking of Nigeria. So our SMEs don't have any choice than to comply with the Nigerian National Quality Policy. And I think, you know, UNIDO is an international organization. The same thing will be done in other African countries that have not even tried it. They don't have any choice. Do you know, the idea is this. The goods you are going to buy in Morocco, in Egypt, will be of the same quality.
Of what you see, get in Nigeria and everywhere.
You understand?
That's what should be.
And at the same time, even these other foreign countries, Europe and all whatnot, you see them also buying our products because it means that the stake has been raised for our people. And they are making an effort to meet up with it. So there's a national quality policy in place in Nigeria. So as an SME, if you want to participate in this program, you have to comply. You don't have any choice.
Another thing is innovation and technology.
Yes.
You know, we are in an innovative world now where everything is online, everything is done with technological advancement and all of it. How are SMEs also keen into this to help also fast track, you know, help them, you know, pass the message more than it used to be. You know, social media is there now, you know, a lot of things that they could do with technology. Are they keen into the advantages? Are they leveraging on technology to also do their business?
Why not? I can tell you for sure, a lot of them, a lot of our members. Look, if you don't key into that, you're out of business. Automatically, you're throwing away yourself out of business. That's the meaning of that. You don't have any choice. Not to talk of participating in the AFTA program. You don't have any. How do you relate to a business partner, say in Côte d'Ivoire, in Egypt, in Morocco, in Tunisia, in Namibia? How do you do that if you are not technology savvy? You can't do anything. So you don't have, there are things, conditions you find yourself, you don't have any choice than to comply. You understand? And try to measure up. We've been telling them that, and I can, in terms of even to innovate, innovation is very, very important.
Honestly, creativity.
Because after we make our SMEs to become very competitive. And innovation is very key in being competitive. Look at the equipment you are using. Maybe in the next 5 years.
Yes.
You understand? So what do you do to make sure you get this at any point in time? Is to innovate. You have to innovate. You don't have any choice.
Moving on. We talked about funding earlier when we started with the funds being provided by the central bank and managed by NASL. Now, when SME owners, small business owners don't get access to this, where else do they go to? What happens with the commercial banks? What are the rates there, and what other challenges do they face basically as we move on now? Because like you said, this government is trying to focus more on creating jobs, like opening up the market for small businesses. But what are the challenges? What are still these hindrances? What are those stumbling blocks that you meet along the line?
You see, you mentioned NISAL. NISAL is a creation of the Central Bank of Nigeria. It's a baby of Central Bank of Nigeria. Because I'm not talking for CBN, of course, but I am sure we have microfinance banks that are registered in Nigeria.
Yes.
Run by private operators. But I'm sure the CBN or people feel that this money they are managing does not go down to those that really need them because of operational techniques and all whatnot. So that was what gave birth to NISAL. And during the COVID loan that NISAL disbursed, some of the conditions were really mellowed down to an extent. But you know one good thing that happened? You don't need to go through any third party or second party. You go to your system, apply online, put all the information you are asked to fill in, and they will get back to you. That's one of the things I've seen in Nigeria that was so transparent.
This is really good.
I'm telling you honestly.
For Nigerians to believe, because when you go and you say some of these things, people tend not to believe.
I can tell you, I'm a witness. You know the number of members we have around the country. When we ask them, go ahead and do this, NISA gave us the links and all whatnot. They say, no. Luckily, NISA has state offices. If you're having any difficulty, if you can't do it, go to NISA office. People there will explain everything to you. After a while, we started receiving information from people, our members, that look, I didn't believe it, that this money will come through, that he has received a lot in his account. I'm telling you this, and this thing was done under this government. I say, if you can't commend them for any other thing, this one, we could see it. Now, in addition to that, to help SMEs, I'm sure you must have heard of MSME Survivor Fund.
Yes, I have.
That's an ongoing project.
Yes. It was even extended for some states. Under
the auspices of the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. They have a steering committee which they call STACO. NASME is represented in that steering committee.
Wow, I think we have SMEDAN, we have NASME, we have all of you.
Bank of Industry, ITF, all of them are there. You know why all of them were brought together? Just to pay serious attention to MSME affairs. You understand? What are you talking about? Now, even for SME, for people who are interested in entrepreneurship, that don't even have any company registered, they've encouraged them. Just propose 3 names you want to use. Give some details, your passport, photograph, your ID card, or something like that. Set up and then send it. This program will go to CAC, the Corporate Affairs Commission, and register this enterprise for you and give it to you. Out of the 3 names you propose, they will pick one and give you, so that you can be a job creator yourself. Do you get it? There's the other one again, payroll support. You are an SME. This COVID situation have made you useless.
To pay salaries.
You can't even pay salaries.
Yeah.
Said, okay, they will take up, if I'm not mistaken, about 3.
Yeah.
From any company that is approved. They will do that for about 3 months.
Yes.
To support you, just to cushion what you are doing.
Yeah.
You understand? We've never seen this before in Nigeria. There are many other components, and all these things are SME focused. SME focused.
It's a good way to wrap up. Let's wrap up now. What's your projection? We're in the second wave of COVID-19. All of this that you have talked about, what's the outlook? What do you see? Where do you see SMEs? How do you see it playing out for them this year and even moving on to 2022?
Thank you very much, Tolu. The truth of if you look at the avalanche of opportunities open to SMEs, especially after. We are not talking of just running around Nigeria. We are talking of moving beyond continent. Nigeria. Eh?
Yes.
If you're an SME, you should be aiming high to play at that level. You should. The African continent, the African Union, should ensure that African countries set up infrastructure to help each other so that citizens can move from one place to another. So, by that, what do I mean? The future, COVID is there, second wave of COVID is there, but I know by the grace of God, we are going to conquer it. We are going to conquer it. But the future is very bright for SMEs. This issue of unemployment, by the time we address all these infrastructural, economic issues that are affecting us, you know that employment will be created, people will live the good life. You understand?
Yes, I do.
So the future is very bright, I can tell you for sure. Even money, people, SMEs, people will be calling you, come and take money. Look at the funding opportunities available now.
Very interesting way to leave it. The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, like Ebeji, I see that passion. Anytime you're talking about SMEs, you show that passion. And well, let's see how it all plays out and all of the positives from government like you identified. Thank you very much for your time. We hope to have you again on the show to always look at this very important sector that is the backbone of every economy. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us. Well,